All right, so hello. So shall we do a quick run through the presentation? Kilari, what do you think?
Sure, we can do it.
All right. So just for everybody's information, the link will be in the meeting group chat so that you can open it up and look at it. And Kilari, as you start, would you share the screen?
Sure. Wonder how I can share it. Can you see it?
Yes, we do.
So my start is mostly what I did in the before, which I have presented. So I'm first explain what each simulate one is and how it's different from the it call. Then I'm showing also what is the output of that kind of simple call. Then I'm talking about the four core features that we have. That we have the calls are split to blocks. Then we have state overrides, easy recover opcode override. This used to be the bigger override, but nowadays we just allow the easy recover opcodes. So that's something that I modified here. Then we have the event logs and ETH transfer log. And then I go through all these four one by one. So first about the calls that are inside the blocks. Then about the replacing the accounts. And then about the easy recover override. Then I go with how you can do the precompile override, which is kind of easy recover override nowadays. And then I showcase kind of interceptor, but I don't actually use the interceptor. I just show these pictures of the use case, how you can swap USDC to ETH using ETH simulate. And you are first approving it, then you are signing the permit message, and then you are swapping USDC to ETH, and then you can actually get the swap succeeding. And here's actually what the ETH simulate query looks like inside the interceptor. That you have the approved transaction as the forced transaction in the call, and then you have the swap transaction, and then we have the precompile or the easy recover override for the permit message. And then I saw that the interceptor shows that nicely simulation results that you are gaining some Ether and losing some USDC, and then making permit to allowance. And then I show that you can get event logs and ETH transfer logs also out from the ETH simulate, and that the ETH logs are ERC20 logs with that special 0xE address. And that's how the one log looks like. It's the ERC20 transfer log, but that address is a special. Then I showcase the Governor Bravo execution example where we are replacing one existing contract on the mainnet with our own contract, and then we are calling that contract to simulate how the governance contract can be, or how we can see what the governance contract would do if the governance decides to execute a transaction. And here's an example of that we are then replacing that time lock contract replacement with our own, and then you are just executing the time lock, and we are seeing that there's a ETH being transferred in that case. And then there's two existing, actually I haven't checked if these links are still valid, that we have get and Nethermind versions, and then we have Hive tests. And then we are still looking more people to implement.
Yeah, I'll update our link soon. All right.
These are wrong?
Yep, no, it's already wrong.
Okay.
So we'll update it.
Yeah. And then there's
All
the
right, then
implementation
we go
details.
to implementation details. On the first slide, we present the simplified architecture of what is actually happening, the parent blocks, the loop, the filling and processing and commit states. Then we go into the next slide with system changes. And on the system changes, we highlight the most painful aspects that we encountered, what was actually changed, how we actually do it through overlays to not interact any data that is real and only do it simulation-wise, and other minor changes that we had to make. Then we go to the next slide with state updates. We show what would a developer actually need to do to allow this all to happen, that she needs to be able to allow contract state updates, user state updates, and in real life currently, for example, what I was playing around with this weekend, and we will be playing around a little bit this week. The if call in guess the second parameter is currently the state overrides, and it is like one-to-one mapping from there to here. So if the client already has that if call state override, it would be a little bit more easy for them to implement. On the next slide, we show the overlays we had to create to actually make it all work. The overlays for trees, for state, for code info, and ability to overlay code through precompiles, and how it stacks up and comes together in a simplified form, of course, but it shall be more or less general for every user to see. On the next slide, we show the EVM updates that we had to actually do for precompiles so that it could be selected either to, for example, precompile code to be called, or the overloaded precompile code to be called, or redirected precompile code to be called. And we especially indicate that there is extra lock situations. We go to the next slide and highlight the fact that actually we added a special change to the way we are doing logging. We had added one more event that we track, and it is actually used for providing users with the ability to, if they set a special flag, every time see the ETH transfers from anyone to anyone, and this hopefully it will be explained why we actually need this in Polaris part. And then we go to the next slide with RPC updates. Yay. So hopefully everyone will be using Tracer for that. Going to the RPC updates, in our case, there were some difficulties with actually passing various dictionaries that were JSONs with complex data, so we needed to update it. Also, we provide new configuration on RPC of max blocks that will be simulated in is simulate, and there are all the traditional limitations that are also included and are also applied to each simulate request. Then we go to the next slide and highlight the validation mode, the fact that users can actually turn on the validation, and meanwhile we are having as much of the transaction data filled up as possible. We actually allow the user to specify anything he or she wants, and we will try to validate her transactions and blocks as real blocks would be validated on chain, and so he or she would get real information on how good or bad the transactions are in terms of getting onto chain. So then we go to the next slide and highlight the skipping, the magic feature that you want to set, simulate for me block number 1 and then block number 100. And we explicitly state that we actually do skipping. We do not skip, we run every block, and by default, the same limit is to 56 blocks. And so if the user would input only one, please simulate for me block number 1, block number 100, we would simulate all the blocks in between, but they will be empty, but the state will be updated. So we kindly ask our users to focus on using timestamps for cheaper simulations. We go to the next slide and highlight the great effort that Hilary and Mika done on actual testing, the new updates to Hive tests. 100 Hive tests is quite a lot, and they allow us to check basically every part of functionality there is. We go to the next slide and we highlight the links that can be used, and we highlight the use case that can be, we reiterate on the use cases that we see one of the most interesting, and then we go to the end and have a discussion. Yay!
I guess here is that I'm already kind of motivating what is the each symbol. Oh,
Yeah, yeah,
that's I intended
yeah,
that
it's
my
just a
slides are mostly.
conclusion.
Yeah, yeah, sure, yeah.
To remind everyone that it is actually useful to be able to simulate forks of a tree wherever they want to have some ideas, wherever they want to test something out to see what would go well or go badly on a block tree. All right.
Yeah,
So
and I guess with this links as well, I should update this to the test arc or the where the tests are residing in the Hive. That's the hide fork, and the tests are not actually residing in that repository. So, but I can
yeah, by
change
the
that.
way, I had a question. So the actual, for example, code for some of the tests is residing in the main repo with execution APIs. So the question would be if it is up to date,
Those
and
are not
if we
up to date
should.
yet because we have been still finding bugs, and I plan to update all those tests there when we kind of are more far in the future, when the kind of all the tests are actually correct.
Mhm. Yeah. All right. So yeah, that's pretty much it. 38 slides. I think we will take around like 45 minutes to present the basis of it. And probably there'll be like 5 to 10 minutes for questions, and that will be it. And we're given 1 hour to do everything. And yeah, I think it will be pretty great.
Yeah, I was just yet sure how long for me to takes to go through those first slides, but yeah, I maybe try to talk them through once before the see, and then I know better.
Yeah. Yep. Perfect. All right. So, and also from our side, I think we haven't done yet the progress on new bug fixes because I was focusing on actually bringing the functionality of state updates to iscall so that we would also have issimulate like implemented and propagated through every piece of the client. So, I think I will finish it by soon, and we'll get back to our unit tests that we shall still fix. Yeah, that's it from our side. Sina, any updates from your side?
Hey, yeah, not a lot from my side. But last week we had a call with the team reviewing one of the prerequisite PRs for multi-calling Geth. And actually, yes, it turned out that so yeah, and then we discovered that thing with state root and state overrides. So and because we want to update the state root based on the overrides as well, then we will not go with that approach of that PR. So now my colleague made another one, and that has to be reviewed. But anyway, these are just lay work that has to be done before like multi-call is actually merged in. So yeah, we're making progress on like the review side of things, and that's it.
There's no update from my side.
Yeah, so the question in the chat was if we have timed the presentation. So the thing that you've seen today was definitely not the complete presentation. It was heavily reduced by all sides, so probably there won't be spoilers on the video on demand of our call today, I think. And yeah, so we'll meet again in a few hours, and we'll be able to actually like time how much it will take. I hope we'll get it through in 45 minutes. All right,
I think
so
so.
if when is the call? It's a good question. Let me share a link with you.
In a couple of hours.
Yeah, so this is the link. Here you go. And it is 4 p.m. London time. So
In 2 hours.
yeah, in 2 hours.
2 hours and 12, 13 minutes.
Yeah, I think we'll share a link on Telegram as well when we will get to it. All right, thank you all guys for coming. That was nice.
Yeah, I don't think it's supposed to be live in a way that it's not going to be presented to the large audience.
Well,
It's
in
just,
my
it's
understanding,
just recorded.
they will record it, but they actually, at least from my understanding of Telegram chat, invited core developers, so there can be somebody who would come. But who
Yeah,
knows?
I saw it on Discord actually. So maybe I will also just join the call as audience.
Yeah, can
Yeah,
ask
feel free.
questions.
Yay. All right. So we'll see you all soon. Thank you guys for coming.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah, bye.
Bye.
Yeah, good luck, guys. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.